Hey world, it's Elizabeth. I wanted to share a story with the world about how I prayed for twin babies a year ago. Actually, this is the weekend last year where I, for the last time, thought that I was going to have one baby boy in October of 2018. My parents were here to visit and help my son celebrate his 4th birthday, and I was struggling emotionally. I'd recently gone through a difficult time with my husband where I discovered that I'm not the wife I want to be. I don't have the confidence in my ability to always love my husband that I thought I always would. And my husband had made the decision that he could not conceive us doing well with any more children, and that he was going to be done having children. And what most people have seen of my story and taken away from it, and the reason I really want to record this story of it, is that most people think, oh, you wanted another child and you got another child, because obviously I am currently the nursing mother of twin babies who are 8.5 months old, and I have a crazy life and no sanity. But that's the part they hear. The part that nobody takes in, and that I really want to get into people's hearts, is that I had to make a choice about how I was going to interact with my husband in our combined decision, because it's never really just one person in a marriage. We're two becoming one flesh, but becoming one flesh is a lot of work. And combining the decision about something like ending fertility was difficult for me. I grew up in the homeschool community, and to me, being fertile and being ready for God to give you another kid was just something I always thought I'd be able to do as part of my worship. And I felt like I was abandoning God. But if I disobeyed my husband or tried to manipulate him to do something different, I was disobeying God too. And if I just made the decision to follow my husband and didn't know if God wanted me to have more kids or not, then I would have struggled with doubt in who God was in my life. And so that's where it came to the point of desperation, where I said, hey God, will you step in here? Even before we got genetic tests back, for some reason I always knew what gender my kids were going to be, and I knew I was having a boy. I said, I'd really like another girl. My oldest is mentally handicapped, and I still pray for her wellness. I pray for her speech, and there's been things spoken to me, and I even have sat in Bible study and seen the verse that says, ask anything in my name and I will give it to you. And I'm like, really? Are you going to heal my kid? And had a friend text me, guess what dream I had last night? I just dreamed that your daughter was speaking in a couple years, and you were telling me such peace in your eyes, and it just seemed so real. And I had to tell you, while I'm sitting in the Bible study saying, really, God? But I wanted some sense that I would have those girl moments and playing dolls and just a normal girlhood, and be able to share the joys of girlhood with a girl in a way that, in a different way than I have with my daughter, the way that I expected to. And I think that's a selfish desire, because my daughter is delightful as she is, my oldest daughter. But I knew that if we were going to have that boy, and if there were 2 boys and my oldest was handicapped, I would feel betrayed by God, and I would feel like my husband had taken something away from me. And I said, God, I need you to take this bitterness out and just make it possible for me to obey my husband joyfully. And that was the prayer. So, every time I'd go in for my appointments from March to June, when they did the ultrasound, I kept saying, keep looking for another baby. I know there's going to be tooth babies in there. And, every time they'd look for the heartbeat, are you sure? I think I'm maybe a little big. Is there a baby in there? Look for another heartbeat. And, they obligatorily wave the wand around a bit. They never found 2 heartbeats. But last year on June 4th, I went in for my ultrasound, and my parents had just left from coming to visit for my son's birthday because his birthday is the 4th. And they went home, and I said, well, guess what gender it is? It's boy and a girl that I prayed for. And I hadn't even told my husband that I'd prayed for this, so he was going through shock. But it gave me a lot of joy and changed my motherhood, because I no longer feel alone as a mother, and I no longer feel abandoned. And it's been one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. I have a chronic illness, and I used to think, well, I can't be a good mom because. And now I think God gave me an extra kid because I'm a good enough mom. So today I'm seeking the kind of mom He wants me to be with my new because. And it's been more joyful and more fulfilling, and it's something I wish other people would have. And I have a friend who has struggled with pregnancy loss. I have multiple friends. I mean, some who have gone through this journey and feel fulfilled, and I have one friend in particular who doesn't feel fulfilled yet. And when God doesn't answer, I think it's really important to know, doesn't answer, it's no such thing. But when God doesn't give the visible answer that you think is going to heal your heart, that isn't your healing. The healing is to know who God is in your life. And that's a concept I'm trying to go to know what faith He's building in you so that you can rest on Him. And this is not the only experience I've had that's given me this hope, but it's the first one I've gotten to go through with my husband and share and build both of our faith with. And it was super poignant because I've prayed for twins lots of times, but I didn't pray for twins in this way, with that kind of, one baby on the ultrasound and still praying and still praying and still praying. And that desperation, and that it drove home a point that I'd learned in Sunday school. We were looking at the qualities of, some sort of qualities of God, and I was really impressed by the number of times the Bible, like the number of verses in the Bible, different books at different millennia throughout the Israelite history, where God says, if you seek me, you will find me, if you seek me with all your heart. And He let me find Him. And so that was important. I brought my whole heart. And I wanted to tell that story so that anybody who sees my story and feels a little bit jealous or a little bit abandoned would take a moment and think about all the things that, bring your doubt, if that's your heart. Bring your hurt, if that's your heart. Bring your intellectualism, if that's your heart. Even if you think that God wants the happiness, the joyfulness, and the childlikeness, bring who you are and face the God who is amazing, because He is gentle and humble in heart. And when you do see Him, it's unforgettable. That's all. Bye.